What's going on, baby? What's going on? What's going on, brothers? Yeah. This is Tuesday Night Live, baby. Put one in the chat if you can hear me. Put one in the chat if you can hear me, brothers. I need to know if you can hear me. What's up? What's up? What's up? That's right, brothers. Put one in the chat, brothers. Put one in the chat if you're with me. Oh, we're gonna talk tonight. That's right. I see you. I see you, Brandon Penn. I see you, Abraham. I see you, Dewan. I see you, brothers. We gonna cook tonight. That's right. Black male independence is in the house. Black male agency is in the house. Black men's empowerment is in the house. Y'all give it up for that country boy. Y'all give it up for that country boy from South Carolina. That self-identified Geechee, Mr. Kwame Brown. We're going to give you a little bit of that. That mama's cooking. That mama's cooking. What's going on, brothers? It's another Tuesday night edition. And you brothers, I want you all to know that I was not going to miss out on this moment right here. I was not going to miss out on this moment right here. Talking about Brother Kwame Brown. Y'all see the title? Kwame Brown. The BMI King and the Black Manosphere. The BMI King and the Black Manosphere. Brothers, y'all know what time it is. You brothers who've been on this channel since day one, you brothers who've been following this channel, when you came in, you know what time it is. You know that we've been talking about black male independence. We've been talking about black male agency. We've been talking about black men's empowerment. And I told y'all the last time that I did my live, that we're going to have a zero tolerance for anti-black misandry, the utter hatred of black men. And brothers, don't you know what fell in our lap? Don't you know what fell in our lap? Brother Kwame Brown, who raised the BMI flag up high, who raised the BMA flag up high, who raised the BME flag up high, and he's waving it right now. Countering misandry, countering the utter hatred of black men. Doing that moment's cooking. He's doing this moment's cooking. Put that seasoning in it. He's gonna put that seasoning in it. The Geechee puts the seasoning in it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Let me tell you something. You better not sleep on the country boy. You better never. Let me tell you something. I'm Geechee. I am Geechee. I'm a Florida Geechee. I'm a Florida Geechee who was influenced by Georgia Geechees and South Carolina Geechees. I am Geechee as hell. And I'm unapologetically Geechee. I'm a Geechee with a PhD. But let me tell you something. You better not sleep on the country boy. You better not sleep on the country boy. You better not sleep on the Geechee. You better not sleep on the Geechee. You better not sleep on them. Don't let them trucker hats fool you. Don't let the overalls fool you. Don't let the boots fool you. Don't let the tractor trailers fool you. Don't let that land fool. Don't let the slow talk. They say we talk slow. Don't let the slow cadence fool you. Don't let the church cadence fool you. Don't let the manners fool you. Don't let the manners fool you. Because when you least expect it, just when you think you've gotten over on us, just when you think you have the upper hand, we come back. We surprise you. We get you with that 1, 2, 3. We get you with that rope-a-dope. We get you with everything that we got. You didn't even see it coming. It came like a freight train and knocked you out. That's right. We sprinkling the cooking, baby. We sprinkling the cooking. And look at Charlemagne the God. And look at DJ Envy. And look at Steven Jackson. And look at Stephen A. Smith. And look at Matt Barnes. And look at Angela Yee. And look at Jamel Hill. And look at all of entertainment, all of media right now. Because they are right now encountering the black male voice. They are encountering the black male voice in a way that they have never experienced before. Raw, uncut, unfiltered, off the chain, straight, no chaser. We don't care about who's offended. Because if you have no problem, if these people have no problem every day saying that black men are trash, if Stephen A. Smith has no problem ridiculing 16, 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old black boys, holding them to utopian standards, saying nothing about the exploitive nature of the sports industry, the exploitive nature of the NFL and the NBA and college sports, the NCAA. Yeah, you could talk about these black boys on the football field. You could talk about these black males, young black men on the basketball court, but you're not going to talk about the people who finances it. You're not going to talk about the exploitation. No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. Who exploits their ignorance, who exploits their financial illiteracy, who exploits their poverty, who takes their single marriage, who takes their single mother stories and pimps them and makes money off of those stories. Yeah. You need black boys to be semi-illiterate. You need black boys to be functionally illiterate in order to keep these industries going. That's right. Yeah. But see, Kwame Brown, they just thought they just saw him as just another tall, 6'11", quiet, lanky, dumb country bumpkin. That's what they saw him. He just a quiet, lame country bumpkin. He ain't gonna say nothing. He not gonna clap back or anything like that. No. And they thought that his entire career. And I want you all to pay attention to Kwame Brown's history, his career history, and what he did. I want you all to pay attention to the strategy that he used, because he knew what he was doing. Kwame Brown played the long game. I've been talking about the long game on this channel. Black men playing the long game. What does that mean? That means that you are thinking about 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the road. And he understood at a very early age that he had the window to make money, to become a multi-millionaire in the NBA. And he couldn't afford to clap back at every criticism. He couldn't afford to go at everybody who said something petty or someone who did something petty to him. He could not afford to do that because he had a much bigger picture. But oh boy, 12 years later, after leaving the NBA, leaving the NBA, you look at him now. Now, he's tired of it. And brothers, Kwame Brown is a classic example of what black men go through what black men have to endure, what black men put up with on a daily basis. He is a classic example of a black man who, when he deals with so much vitriol and so much hatred, misandry, he has no other choice at some point to clap back. And I'm gonna say this, brothers, to y'all, and I said this on the stream last week. You see, you can only beat up on a population for so long. You can only ridicule and demonize a group of people for so long without those people not clapping back, without those people not saying anything in return. You can only do that for so long. And we are at that point right now, brothers. We are at that point. Kwame Brown has opened up the floodgates. There are other people who have done it, but Kwame Brown has opened up the floodgates. And those of y'all who have been paying attention to his lives, I've been watching his lives, man. I've been binging his lives. I can't get enough of Kwame Brown's lives, man. I'm telling you, this brother is off the chain. And he ain't playing with y'all. He is not playing with these media people. He's not playing these journalists. He's not playing with these old 40-year-old, 45-year-old, 50-year-old feminists. He ain't playing with them. Nah, he ain't playing with them. He is going at them. And Kwame Brown has been listening. The talking points, y'all listen to him closely. Kwame Brown has been listening to the Black Manosphere. He's been listening to those of us who've been out here talking about black male independence and black male agency and black men's empowerment. He's listening to everything. Y'all look in the description box. He did an interview over a year ago. There's an interview that he did with Tommy Sotomayor. I left it in the description box, talking about black man stuff and talking about black male pain and the challenges of black men. Y'all excuse me. I'm excited. I am excited, brothers. Because you can't pray for nothing like this, brothers. You can't. This is what's happening. I am so excited, brothers. I am so excited because we are here. We are here. We are here. This technology that we have, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever you call it, Twitch, it doesn't matter what platform you got. This technology right here has unleashed the voices of black men. And Kwame Brown is teaching the world how black men effectively use technology in service of countering the defamation of black men. The defamation of black men. He understands what black male defamation is. And that's what he's doing. He's clapping back against that. I told y'all, brothers, I told us, that is our number one priority. Our number one priority is to clap back against the hatred of black men. Our number one priority in this moment and in the future is to let these people know that you're gonna respect us. You're gonna put some respect on our names. You're gonna put some respect on the image of black men in America and across the world. And it doesn't matter who. It does not matter who's doing the disrespecting. It doesn't matter. It could be another black man, like a Stephen A. Smith, another black man, okay? Like a Stephen Jackson. It could be another black man like Matt Barnes. It could be a black woman like Jamil Hill. It could be a biracial Asian woman like Angela Yee. It doesn't matter who they are. They can be transgender. They can have one eye, one arm, and one lip. It don't matter who they are. If they are spewing all towards people, deserve a vitriolic response. And that's what Kwame Brown is doing, brothers. That's it. And he's going in. He is going in. He is going in on the self-hate. I told you, a part of the misandry, brothers, a part of the hatred of black men, okay, is hatred that is black. It is anti-black that exists within the minds. It exists within the minds. It exists within the minds of black people. It exists within the minds of black men and the minds of black women. We are animated with self-hatred And the self-hatred displays itself towards other black men. So we have a problem. All this black on black, all this black on black violence that we talk about, okay? A lot of that stuff, black men killing each other in the street, homicide and everything like that, that's self-hatred. All that self-hatred, all that one-upmanship, all that HNIC stuff is nothing but self-hatred, brothers. It's nothing but self-hatred, brothers. That's all it is. And when we deal with women and we deal with what we're going through with the opposite sex, a lot of that stuff is animated by self-hatred. A lot of that stuff is animated by self-hatred, because these women have absorbed, they have taken in the hatred of black men in American society, and that stuff is operationalized towards us. It is displayed in relationship to us in our interactions with women, okay? That's self-hatred. Malcolm X talked about the self-hatred. Malcolm X is one of the few people in the history of black masculinity and black politics who was serious about self-hatred. And Kwame Brown going at Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the God is so full of self-hatred, brothers. I mean, he makes Uncle Ruckus look like Malcolm X. He makes Uncle Ruckus look like Malcolm X. That's how much self-hatred Charlemagne the God has inside of him. And he's been spewing that self-hatred for years. I lived in South Carolina. I used to live in Columbia, South Carolina. He was on the radio. He was on the radio in Columbia, South Carolina, back in the early 2000s, spewing self-hatred. Spewing self-hatred. I couldn't even believe that. I couldn't even believe that a person like that was on the airwaves. The way he talked about black men, the way he talked about black women. I mean, he just talked about people like he was a dog, like they were dogs. Under the guise of comedy, under the guise of entertainment, under the guise of hip hop. That's right. That's right, brothers. That's right. That's right. And we have to, brothers, we got to be just like, we have to, first of all, we need to support that brother. We need to support Brother Kwame Brown, because Brother Kwame Brown, he is holding up the flag. He is holding up the flag. He is holding up the flag of BMI, all the principles that we have been talking about on this channel right here. And all of you people who are new, those of you all who are new to this channel, go back and look at the videos. Go back and look at my most recent videos dealing with anti-black misandry. Go back and look at those videos where I told you. One video I did a few weeks ago, I said, black man, this is your time. Black man, this is your time. This is your time. This is your time, black man. This is your time to articulate yourself, to express yourself, and not worry about the so-called blowback. Kwame Brown has got almost 300,000 subscribers. Almost 300,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. Okay? All right? He's picked up over 100,000 in less than a week. All right? And now, that brother has an endless well. He can take this thing anywhere he wants to go. Okay? I mean, he has got these people shaking in their boots. Huh? You see? And see, here's the thing about Kwame Brown, and this is what's so important. See, Kwame Brown, he is a part of an enterprise. Y'all think about this, brother. This is basketball. The image of black men all across the world. The image of black men all across the world has been shaped by basketball. All right? The people outside the United States, in Japan, in China, in Spain, and other places, they only know about black men in large part to the image of basketball players and the NBA and international basketball all over the world. All right? All right? It was the sports people, the people in basketball and then later football who pushed the image of black men all over the world. But it's that same sport, the same sport of basketball that has been used to demonize black men. The same sport of basketball has been used to exploit black men. The same sport of basketball has been used to paint black men as criminals, as savages, Just the way in which Charlemagne the God tried to paint Kwame Brown on the Breakfast Club, talking about his family history and talking about his father and talking about Monk's Corner and all that kind of stuff. That's it, brothers. That's it. And that's right, brothers. We got hip hop as well. Hip hop also. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is the first time I cannot think of a basketball player or a sports figure, somebody who has skin in the game, somebody who is a veteran, someone who has capital. I cannot think of anyone in the last 30 years, 40 years, the last 50 years, who has taken such a strident stance as Kwame Brown. I can't think of nobody. I can't think of nobody. Hell, Jordan didn't do it. Dennis Rodman didn't do it. Hell, LeBron James hasn't done it. LeBron James is not doing anything near to what Kwame Brown is doing. And LeBron James, and trust me, and I like LeBron James, and I think he's a stand-up guy, and I think he does good stuff. But LeBron James is not going to put his nuts out there like Kwame Brown. He's not going to do it. Too many folks are going to be offended by it. But here's what I want y'all to see. Here's what I want y'all to get with this, to get tonight in this live, because y'all know I don't do my lives. I don't spend more than 30 minutes on my lives. And if I do go over, it's because we had to get an extra point that I hadn't anticipated. But we must support brothers like this. We must show young black men that it is okay. We must show young black men that it is okay to stand up for yourself. We must show young black men that it is necessary for them to stand up for themselves, to clap back, all right? And to not accept these toxic narratives that the media spews every day. Sports Center, okay? Skip Bayless and all those folks on Fox, all right? We can't afford to do that anymore. All right, you see what happens to the athletes. We see it all the time with the football players and what have you. And you don't see anybody in football clapping back like that. All these guys got podcasts now. All these guys have podcasts, but they're not going as far as Kwame Brown. I see the football players. I watch I Am Athlete. I like I Am Athlete, but I Am Athlete is kind of gynocentric. I see those brothers. I see Fred Taylor. I see Ocho Cinco and those guys on I Am Athlete and everything like that. But you know, they only go so far because the NFL is a plantation, and even when you retire, that plantation still extends itself into your life. And they make lots of money. I'm not gonna say that they're literally slaves, but the thing is that whole enterprise is of such, okay, that the black male cannot have a free voice. You can get rich, you can live comfortably, okay, but you can't have a free voice. You can't speak your mind, not in the way that Kwame Brown speaks his mind right now. And I want y'all to look at this country boy. I love it. I love listening to the country boy. I love listening to this country boy, man. I love it. 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 Because I got country people in my family, man. I got country uncles. I got country cousins, man. It's all in my family, all in my lineage. I love it. I love hearing them talk that man stuff. Did y'all hear him talking that man stuff? Did y'all hear Kwame Brown talking that man stuff? This is what men do. This is what men do. We talk straight. We don't compromise. We don't bow down. What we do, we talk straight. You got a problem with it, man, you take it to him. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't pander. You don't pander to anybody. You don't do everything that you think is necessary to be popular. You don't care about no popularity. You don't care about being offensive. Manhood is about responsibility. Manhood is about principles. Yeah, the feminists, they got it twisted. They think masculinity is about sex. They think it's about the domination of women. That's not what manhood is all about. Manhood is about responsibility. It's about being principled. It's about having a fucking backbone. That's what manhood is. And that's what Kwame Brown is talking about, having a backbone. And that's it. He is independent. That's right. That's right, JT 9000. The brother is independent. He got his own money. He has his own enterprise. He's a businessman. He's smart. And I want y'all to go back. Y'all go back and look at the interview that he did with Tommy Sotomayor. And I know he talks about his mama's cooking. He talks about his mom's cooking. You're not going to talk about these black boys. You're not going to talk about these young black men who came out of single parent households, who play basketball, who play football, who come out of poverty, who have no mentors, who have been ignored by educational institutions, K through 12, college, exploited by accountants, exploited by lawyers, exploited by women, exploited by philanthropists, exploited by black people, exploited by everybody that can exploit them. That's it. Y'all go back and look. He did this interview with Tommy. And yes, he grew up in a single parent household, but he was influenced by men. He was influenced by old school Southern black men who came from a different generation, who understood what it meant to live in this world, understood that you have to know as a black man that you live in the real world, and that in this real world as a black man, no one's gonna give you a pass. I know these liberals and these feminists be talking about male privilege and all that kind of stuff. Ain't nobody giving you no pass. We don't live, that's not the universe that I live in. Don't nobody give no black man a free pass. And he learned that. He learned that at a young age. And an old black man, an old Southern country man, taught him the principles of masculinity when he was a boy. Y'all go back and y'all look at that video. Y'all go back and look at that video. He talks about it. But the time, brothers, we are in a different moment right now. We are in a different moment right now, brothers. You all don't understand. This is a different moment. The black manosphere is influencing so many things. You see, remember, I told you guys that it does not take 20 million, all 20 million black men. There are over 20 million of us in this country. It does not take all 20 million black men to reach other black men, to influence this society, to influence the entire world. It doesn't, all 20 million black men, it doesn't take all of us. All it takes is less than 5%. And let me tell you something, Brother Kwame Brown, he done came out the gate like the 1 man, million man march. He's the one man. Kwame Brown is the 1 man, million man march. The million black man march. Talking that BMI stuff, black male independence, black men's empowerment, black male agency. He is doing more for the black manosphere than anything that you can imagine, brothers. And he is indicative of the fact, brothers, that people are listening. That people are listening. If he's listening, and he's a former athlete, basketball player, okay? There are other people listening. There are other athletes who are listening. There are other basketball players listening. There are football players listening. Okay, there are people in entertainment, they're listening to us. There are academics, they're listening. There are other people listening. All kinds of people are listening to the black manosphere. The professionals, the middle class, the working class, all classes of black men listening to the black manosphere. And many of them are being silent. Many of them are being silent because they don't know what to do with these talking points. They don't know what to do with the ideology. But for those who don't know what to do with the ideology, all you have to do is look at Kwame Brown. Look at Kwame Brown. You got to let this stuff out. We've got to let this stuff out. And that's what he's doing, brothers. That's what he's doing. I told you, his mama's cooking. His mama's cooking. I love that country talk, guys. I love that country talk. I love it. Y'all can hear it. You hear it in my voice. You hear it right here. It's all the Geechee comes. All the Geechee come. I love it, man. I listen to the lives, man. I'm just taking all all the South Carolina Geechee, all the Low Country, all the Charleston and Bamberg and Orangeburg, okay, all that kind of stuff. And Beaufort, South Carolina, man, the coast, all of that, brothers, all that country stuff, okay? Let me tell you something about South Carolina. South Carolina was the state, it was the port of entry. The port of entry for the vast majority of slaves who came here through the transatlantic slave trade. The port, there were two ports. There were two ports, brothers. Two ports of entry for slaves into this thing called North America. First, you had the port of Charleston. There was the port of Charleston that brought slaves straight here. They came here from West Africa. Many of them, they took a stop in the Caribbean. And sometimes there were slaves that were transported from the Caribbean directly to Charleston, to the port of Charleston. And the other port is the port of New Orleans. The port of New Orleans, same thing was happening. You got slaves coming in from West Africa going to the port of New Orleans. You had slaves who were being transported from Haiti to the port of New Orleans. So when you listen to somebody like a Kwame Brown, you're talking about a long lineage. We're talking about a long lineage, okay? A long lineage, all right? And people have been sleeping. We sleep on this legacy. But this legacy is real. So Kwame, this black man who was 39 years old, when he opens his mouth, let me tell y'all something. When Kwame talks, it's not just Kwame talking. When Kwame talks, you can hear the ancestors talking. You can hear them. You can hear black men. You can hear black men from the 30s talk. You can hear black men from the 40s talk. You can hear black men who were born in 1915 talk. That's what you hear when Kwame Brown opens his mouth. He talks about that man stuff. You're talking about a legacy, a lineage. And most black people, it doesn't matter what part of the country that you reside in. If you are out there on the West Coast and you in California, or you out there, or you somewhere in the Midwest, you in St. Louis, or you in Chicago, okay? Or you out over here on my side, I'm in North Carolina, but you go further up in North Carolina, you go to the upper East Coast, Pennsylvania, okay? We're talking about New Jersey, you're talking about New York, particularly New York City. All those places have been influenced by black men that you hear coming out of the mouth of Kwame Brown. All those black men. Because black men, those southern country black men, stand-up men, they traveled. They traveled to New York City. They traveled to New Jersey. They traveled to Compton. They traveled to Watts. They traveled to Oakland. They traveled to Chicago and St. Louis. They traveled to all those places, and they took all that stuff with them. They took their experience of masculinity and manhood. And they had, listen, and here's what you got to understand. These men knew that nobody was coming to save them. They knew that they came from an era where there was no government intervention. There was no government intervention. You're talking about black men. You're talking about black men who are not very different from us. The government is not trying to save black men in America. The government is not trying to lift us up. The government is not trying to transform our lives. And these black men, these southern black men, the kind of southern black men that you hear when Kwame Brown opens his mouth, those black men lived in the kind of world where no one gave a damn about them. They came out of a world of lynching. They came out of a world of terrorism. And they came out of a world where men had principles. That when you say something and you say you're going to do something, you do it. They came out of a world where people didn't sign contracts. People didn't sign contracts. They made agreements based on a handshake. You talking about men who were stand-up guys. And Kwame Brown, 39 years old, brothers. 39 years old. All those black men coming out of his mouth. All of them. When he talking about this mama cooking, look at it. That mama cooking, look at it. He taking y'all through the history of black folks. The history. The state of South Carolina is one of the blackest states in North America. Next to Mississippi. Mississippi is black as I don't know what. We don't talk about Mississippi. It's black as I don't know what. We talking about the black belt. You can't get blacker than South Carolina. Okay? And it's too bad that Charlemagne the God rejected that side of his heritage. It's too bad. It's too bad. And brothers, Kwame Brown has left a major mark on this internet. And we're going to have to break this thing down. We're going to have to really, all I can say, brothers, is that if you ain't convinced right now, if you are not convinced right now, brothers, if you're not convinced, brothers, that this is your time, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. If you are not convinced that this is your time and that you need to stand up for yourself and don't allow this anti-black male hatred to go on. And we have to be vociferous about our image. We have to be strident. We got to be strident, brothers, about how we are projected in our images in the world. And this brother is not playing. This brother is not playing. This brother is not playing. He said, you're not going to sit up here and disrespect the image of black men. And that's the big thing. Kwame Brown was not just talking about himself, brothers. Kwame Brown is talking about all of us. He's talking about black boys. He's talking about black boys who are below the 4th grade reading level. He's talking about black boys who are being neglected, black boys who are broken up, who are being raised in these fragmented families. And the neglect and the ignorance and all that kind of stuff. Look at here. Kwame Brown, brothers. And one of the brothers mentioned hip hop. You're right. Hip hop was one of the things that we had. But hip hop failed, brothers. Hip hop failed to do what Kwame Brown is doing right now. Hip hop, these rappers out here don't have the makeup. They don't have the cultural DNA to do what Kwame Brown is doing right now. Maybe after listening to him, maybe you might get some rappers to shift lanes and begin talking about black men and start talking about our condition in this country. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yes, brothers, I couldn't help. You brothers know I had to say something about this Kwame Brown situation. I had to say something about this situation, brothers. I had to, because this fits right in line with everything that we're doing on this channel. Y'all be sure to like the stream. Y'all be sure to subscribe. I love this country stuff, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, brothers, I speak formally when I need to, and I do it here, and I do it on lives and everything. And I know how to code switch. That's what we call it. That's what the anthropologists labeled it and what have you, brothers. But man, that country boy, see, and I grew up in Florida. I grew up in the Geechee part of Florida. I'm from South Florida. I grew up around a bunch of Geechees, man. Okay? The Geechees who came from South Carolina and from Georgia, and we talk with a twang. Sometimes people think that we're from the Caribbean. People ask, are you from the islands? Are you Bahamian? Are you Jamaican? What are you? I said, no, I'm from here. I'm Southern. All right. I wasn't raised in the traditional South, but I'm a Southern man. My parents, my mama, Georgia born, Georgia bred, whole family, Florida, Georgia. And so when I hear the country boy talk, and I hear that country boy talk, that man talk, I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones, brothers. I appreciate you guys coming through this. I appreciate you guys coming through this evening to have this conversation. You're right. We haven't had anything like a public enemy, man. We're talking about decades, man. You know what I mean? But YouTube and the internet has given us the opportunity to bring all that back. It has given us the opportunity to talk to the world in the way in which hip hop did at its very, very best. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right, brothers. That's right, brothers. I'm glad you guys showed up. I'm loving every minute of what's going on with Kwame Brown. I can't wait to see what's next. I can't wait to see what's next. And I can't say to you enough, brothers, that the clapback is here. This is when black men talk back. Black men need to talk back to the world. Don't be afraid to talk back to the world. Don't be afraid to clap back at all those people who are disrespecting black men, the people in the media, all those so-called woke people. Let me tell you something. Yes, the woke people. Kwame Brown is challenging all these woke people. You see, they don't expect the black man to have a voice. They just thought that this was just some 6'11" brute who can't talk. Some 6'11" beast of a man who has no idea or no ideas related to politics, related to economics, related to the black condition in the United States, relating to what's happening in the world today. They just see you. See, when you play basketball or you play football, the world just look at you with some big dumb entertainer, some big dumb jock, and that's what happens, brothers. They look at us on TV. We dribbling the ball, or we making touchdowns, or you're throwing the ball. You look at Cam Newton and everything. You know what I'm saying? And you're just an image on the screen. You're just a toy. You're just an entertainment thing. That's all you are. You're not even a human being. They don't even see us as human beings, and they fear that they can say anything that they want about us. They feel like they can just walk up to us and slap us in our face, you know what I'm saying? Do all that kind of stuff. They really feel that they have the license. And you all, I don't have to explain to you. You all see what happens to athletes all the time. You see? And this media, that's what this media does. And what Kwame Brown did was say, listen, no. You're not going to reduce me. You're not going to reduce me to a caricature on the screen. You're not going to reduce me to some man that's just dribbling the ball. I'm a human being. I'm a human being, and that's the big thing. I'm a human being. I got feelings. I'm a human being. I got a life. I'm a human being. I got children. I got children. This is a black man. You got children. You talking about me, and I got children. They got to turn TV on, and they have to see you talking about me like I'm a dog. But this is when the so-called black brute talks back. This is when the so-called black brute puts everybody on blast. And he doesn't care who's offended. We don't care about political correctness. Okay? So all these woke people, we here. They need to understand that we here. And that we're not animated or imbued by all this liberal utopia nonsense that y'all pushing all across the country. You see, and he's right about Charlemagne the God. He's right. Those people on the Breakfast Club, they nothing but puppets. That's all they are. They nothing but puppets, y'all. Okay, they're given a script. They're given ideas. That they're told what to say. They're told what political agendas are the most important. I mean, they have no type of independence or agency whatsoever. You see, and that's media across the board. That's most of entertainment, and that's most entertainers. And Kwame Brown is unsettling the landscape. He is like an earthquake, brothers. He is like an earthquake that nobody anticipated. He's an earthquake. Everything is shaking. Everything is shaking. Everything is shaking, brothers. But listen, brothers, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I'm glad that you all were a part. I'm glad that you guys were a part of this live stream. I've got some things to do. I might not be uploading videos for another week or so because I have to do some traveling. But brothers, we're going to continue this conversation, man. I appreciate you guys. Y'all share the stream. This is raw. Y'all know the man. This is raw. This is uncut. This is unfiltered. I'm excited, brothers. I let the passion, I let my emotions hang on my sleeves because I want to see black men. I want to see black men ascend. I want to see our situation change. Okay. It is only when we have men like Kwame Brown and other people who are willing to plant their BMI flag in the ground that black men's situation, their circumstances will change in this country and around the world. This is a great day. This is a wonderful day to be a black man because we have this technology, we have these tools at our disposal. This technology, brothers, this technology is giving us major power, major power. All right, all right. You know, you got brothers that getting out of prison. You got brothers getting out of prison right now because of technology. Brothers that have spent 20 years, 30 years, 40 years in prison, they're getting out of prison due to technology. DNA technology, DNA science, that's technology. DNA science. Someone lied on him. Someone said he committed a murder. He committed some crime or what have you, and he was wrongly convicted for it. And they get and they put those DNA tests and all that kind of stuff. And you say, you know what, this man was not at the crime scene. This man did not commit this murder. This man did not commit this atrocity that y'all say he committed. That's technology, brothers. It's liberating us. And this technology is our ally. This technology is our friend. This technology is more faithful to you than any of these females out here. It's more faithful to you, brothers, than these old misandrous men that we're dealing with, these self-hating black men. And that's why we have to use it. We have to use it as a tool, as a weapon against all of this anti-black misandry, all these black men, all these black male haters. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm doing this stream. That's why I'm going to continue to do this. Because we deserve to be free and to flourish and to have all the benefits within this society that most people take for granted. Yes, sir, brothers. I'm gonna check on out of here, guys. Y'all take care. BMI stands, BMI lives. BMI. Black male independence.